In mid-December of 2023, I deleted Instagram and TikTok, so this video marks about the 2-month mark of living without it. When I announced this back in December, it seemed to resonate with a lot of you, and it was super encouraging to know that I wasn't the only one who was feeling this type of way about social media and just everything that came with it. And so I embarked on this journey with many of you, and I thought I would share some of the things that I've realized about my relationship with these apps and also just the role that they were playing in my everyday life over the past 2 months. Oh, and make sure you watch until the end of this video because I'll be sharing a fun photo sharing app alternative to Instagram, and it actually delays gratification. Let's get started. So at this point, I was still super excited about starting my social media free life and way of living. It was also around Christmas time. So during that period, I'm typically more aware of how much I'm on my phone. But what was new was this hyper awareness that I had of everybody else's phone use. It was like I had magnifying glasses on or something, and I was just so aware of how much everybody else was just sitting, scrolling on their phones, especially during family events. And I just kind of felt like an outsider because I didn't have Instagram or TikTok to just like mindlessly scroll when there was silence in the room. I also had this feeling of being an outsider when I actually told family members and friends that I was quitting social media or that I had quit social media. They were baffled. I don't know if you guys have experienced this yourselves, if you've also deleted social media, but people were just so confused and shocked, and it really got me thinking about how social media has conditioned us to believe that these apps are an essential part of our everyday lives, like to the point where people are absolutely shocked when you're off of them. So that point aside, one of the things that I did immediately recognize at this kind of 2-week mark was that I was not feeling pressured or influenced whatsoever to buy stuff that I didn't need. And that I think is major because in the past, I have definitely been addicted to shopping, and I'm also sometimes an impulsive shopper. I see something, I really like it, and so I'm gonna go and get it. And that's something that I've been trying to really fix in my life, and being off of social media has been a key contributor to my success in this whole kind of like spending habits journey. So that was awesome, and it's been really nice to just save my money and not feel like I need new stuff every single day. Now, when I wasn't around a bunch of people and I had time to kill, I definitely found myself watching a lot more YouTube to just entertain myself or to find stimulation in, those boring times of the day. Fast forward a couple of weeks and things started to change a little bit. I did realize that I was replacing that time that I would have been scrolling on Instagram or TikTok with YouTube videos. And so I really did not want this to become the norm because I was just replacing one bad behavior with another, and I really wasn't working on what I wanted to do, which was reducing the time spent on my phone and also focusing on new hobbies that were not on digital devices. So what I did was I just started trying to be more intentional about the way I was going about watching YouTube videos. This is the only social media platform that I have now, mostly because I love creating YouTube videos for you guys, but also I do find long form videos to be more enjoyable and useful. So I'm not going to leave this platform, but I did know that I needed to set some parameters and just be more aware of my usage on this app. So simply by, recognizing if I had watched 2 or 3 videos in a row and turning off my phone or just putting it away and going to do something else. I do find that YouTube is much easier to manage my time on than those other apps. And I think it has something to do with the fact that they're not, grabbing my attention as crazily as Instagram or TikTok did. I do find YouTube videos to be more enjoyable. I find more value in the content that I consume here. And I also do find that more often than not, they're leaving a more positive effect on me versus a negative one. So once I kind of became aware of, just how much time I was spending on the app, I was able to kind of limit that, and it hasn't really been a problem since. So the 1 month mark is kind of about the time where I started recognizing why I was reaching for my phone and just out of habit kind of wanting to go on Instagram or TikTok. One of the reasons was definitely because I was searching for stimulation. So I wasn't, making the effort to go and pick up a book that I was enjoying or doing embroidery or, doing something that needed to be done in the house. Instead, I was just being lazy and out of boredom going to my phone to scroll. Another one of the reasons that I found myself kind of reaching for my phone a lot was out of emotions, and it was often to distract myself from any irritation or upset feelings that I was feeling. And this definitely has something to do with the dopamine hit that we get from actually scrolling on these apps. It was that craving for the dopamine that these apps give us in an instant. I think overcoming this, these obstacles was definitely the most difficult part of this new way of living social media free. And it was just because I was still undoing my addiction to these apps, and obviously it takes time. I did kind of do a little bit of research to see how long it takes to relieve ourselves of social media addictions, and it seemed to be that it's kind of different for everybody, and I think it depends on the environment that you're in as well. So for me, it's definitely taken quite a few weeks, but that kind of first month and a half was the hardest because I was unlearning those ways that I had, kind of ingrained into my way of living. And even though I wasn't really feeling the pressure to post on these apps, it was really nice to actually not have that pressure to be creating content for multiple platforms at a time. I definitely had a craving to just scroll and look at other people's content. Now I'm starting to realize just how much time I really have in the day, because those pockets of leisure that I have throughout the day aren't filled and consumed by senseless scrolling. Not only that though, it's those moments where I'm doing the things that I need to do, like, cleaning the parts of my house that need cleaning, folding laundry, preparing meals for my family, where I've noticed that I am able to focus so much better and finish these tasks in a reasonable, keyword reasonable amount of time. And it definitely has something to do with the fact that I am not picking up my phone every 5 minutes or so to scroll and wasting that time when I should actually be focusing on the task at hand. This focus has no doubt also helped me in, creating for YouTube. I feel like I can actually sit down, focus on an idea, and really pump out content without being super distracted. Did you know that it actually takes approximately 23 minutes for our brains and for us as humans to refocus on a task after we have been distracted? I just find that to be super interesting, and the fact that we are also accustomed to picking up our phones all the time throughout whatever we're doing really affects our ability to focus, and it's just created this kind of toxic loop of unproductivity in a sense. On top of this better focus, I definitely have also felt more creative and inspired without the constant reel of information and content coming from Instagram or TikTok. I definitely found myself before, going to these apps, even Pinterest, which actually, I haven't really been on Pinterest very much, maybe a handful of times over the past 2 months, but I found myself going to these apps for inspiration. And now I'm kind of realizing that it's totally unnecessary, and I don't actually need those, constant reels of information in order to come up with awesome ideas on my own and to get my own creative juices flowing. So now I'm really finding true inspiration from other sources, like the books that I'm reading, conversations with loved ones, and also just time and reflection and the ability to kind of just sit and be with my own thoughts. I also consume content a little bit differently now. So when I'm watching YouTube videos, I definitely find that I am feeling way less insecure. I'm comparing myself way less to other people that I am viewing. And I also have some improved self-esteem, which is really, really nice. So I go to YouTube for entertainment or if I want to learn something. And there's not really an in-between. There's no clicking on a video just randomly, because I do find that the longer that the content is, the less I'm going to be interested in it. And it's not like those 30-second clips where, you know, we can quickly watch something but then go down the rabbit hole of watching 40 videos at a time. Something that's definitely helped me to avoid overuse of this platform is just being cautious about how often I go to the homepage, because it's all suggested content, suggested creators based on what we're watching. So I really try to just focus on my subscriptions page, because these are the people that I have signed up to view their content. These are the things that I actually find value in. And so I'm not really wasting my time looking at stuff that I may or may not find value in at the end of the video. Okay, so the moment you've been probably waiting for, and that is the app that I've been using as an alternative in a way to Instagram, but it's an app called Laps, and I'm so sorry if you can hear my dishwasher in the background. It's gonna be a little bit loud, but this app is really, really cool because essentially it's like a digital film camera. So you take a photo and you cannot see the photo right away. It actually makes you wait for it to develop. And I'm not talking like a mere few minutes. Sometimes I'll go back in like an hour and it still won't be developed. So it really delays that gratification and that instant gratification that we're used to. I'll often even forget that I've taken a photo and the next day I'll be like, oh, cool, I have something to develop. And so it really just kind of retrains our brain in a way. And I also find that because there are less people on it, I'm pretty sure it's a newer app, I don't have so much stuff on my feed to scroll through, but it still allows me to have a little bit of connection with the people that I'm closer to in my life, and it lets me share those moments that make me really happy without the pressure of likes and comments and all of those eyeballs. So, do I miss being on social media? Absolutely not. I am so happy living without Instagram and TikTok in my life. My ability to focus has improved. I feel more creative. I'm able to be more present with my daughter and my husband, and I am grateful for what I have. My life as it is enough, and there's nothing telling me otherwise. If you have also deleted social media, I would love to know what you are doing with your newfound free time, or if you have any thoughts on living without it. Feel free to comment down below and let me know. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment. It really helps to support my channel and support my family. I appreciate every single one of you that watches my videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.